Okay, so hi, I'm Carl Rubino. This is Live from a Distance, my weekly original songs, mostly original songs. Sometimes I throw a cover in. Facebook Live broadcast, which I do on facebook.com/Carl Rubino Music. Every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. At least that's the current time. So I have a theme for tonight. Oh, I guess I should also tell you, if you miss the live broadcast, sometime after the live broadcast, which I record as it's being broadcast, I post it to that Facebook page and sometime to my Instagram, which is instagram.com, Carl Rubino Music, and my YouTube sometimes. Anyway, so I have a theme to go with tonight. I was trying to decide between one or two different themes, and the first theme I thought of was death. I wonder why I thought of that. Maybe because of the sharp increases in coronavirus disease transmission and deaths. But I decided to go with something a little bit more fun, lighter, nicer. Traveling songs, leaving songs, moving out, going somewhere kind of songs. So there's a couple of things about tonight. It's real hot. I got the windows open, and there's people out on motorcycles, and there's sirens. There's a guy in the building doing some construction, and another guy doing something that involves blowing a few notes on a trumpet from time to time. So we could get all sorts of interesting things happening here. But anyway, here goes. The first song I'm going to do is Leaving on a Fast-Moving Train. And as I've said about these live streams that I do, I think of it kind of as somewhere in between my dropping into your house, sitting in your living room or on your porch or out in your backyard with a guitar and singing a couple of songs, and then we talk a bit. If you want to make some comments, I can respond to them. Somewhere between that and busking. So it's kind of lighthearted. It's far from perfect. And for those of you who don't know me or my music, I'm about the song. I think of myself as a songwriter, not any particularly great kind of performer, and certainly not a fantastic singer. So it's about the song. In this song, Leaving on a Fast-Moving Train, the idea came to me. I was going somewhere here in the Adirondacks where I live, and I had to cross some train tracks. When I got to the tracks, the bar was down. There's a freight train coming through. And this was about the time where I was about to restart my singer-songwriter effort, which I'd left aside due to an accident and other things for many years. And so I took it as a sign that I had to write a train song. So here it is. I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. I don't care where it's going if it takes me from where I've been. I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. I'm looking for it to carry me away. I'm looking for it to carry me away from my demons and my fears, despite all that I hold dear. Yeah, I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. They say you can't run from yourself. They say that you can't run from yourself. Well, I know that may be true, but it's all I know to do. So I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. I know you might ask me to stay. I know you might ask me to stay. But I know we both know that I really have to go. So I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. I won't be coming back this way again. I won't be coming back this way again. Got my guitar on my back, all my stuff's in my pack. And I'm leaving on that fast-moving train. The conductor will be calling, all you riders should be boarding. 'Cause this here's your fast-moving train. So kiss me as I climb aboard that train. Kiss me as I climb aboard that train. 'Cause when that whistle blows, I'll be leaving here for sure. I'll be leaving on that fast-moving train. Yeah, I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. I'm leaving on the fast-moving train. I don't care where it's going if it takes me from where I've been. So I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. I'm leaving on a fast-moving train. Hi, Lynn. Welcome back. Told Susie Southard. Hope she got the message. I hope she got the message too, but as you know, if she didn't get the message, she can always pop onto my facebook.com/Carl Rubino music site, starting maybe, I don't know, an hour after this broadcast, and she can see the recorded version of this. John Secco. Oh my gosh. Wow. Does that go back? Grade school. Both of you guys, Lynn Nesdale, John Secco, grade school. That's what I love about Facebook. You know, people bash Facebook, and I guess there's a fair amount to bash about it, but I'm hearing from people on Facebook, whether it's coming to this thing or just popping on to some idiotic political statement I make or whatever it might be, that I haven't seen or heard from in decades, and it's just wonderful. John, thanks so much for coming. I think this is your first time here, so what you may not know is that I record these during the live broadcast, and then I post them on my facebook.com/Carl Rubino Music Facebook page sometime after the show, anywhere from a few minutes later to the next day. Usually it's pretty quick. So if you miss it or you want to tell a friend about it, it'll be there. And I invite any questions that you have about my music or comments. To me, this is as much about my playing my songs as dialoguing about them. And that dialogue can include anything about where'd you get the idea to write that song, or why did you say this instead of that, or what did you mean when you said that, this, that, and the other thing. So I'm happy to go through that. So I hope everybody's doing fine. John, what part of the country are you living in, if you don't mind my asking? Let's see. I think there's a delay on these things, so I'll wait for a little while. So I had said, John, that song that I just played, Fast Moving Train, that's a song I wrote. Most of the songs that I do here are songs that I write. Every once in a while, I throw in a cover. Actually, maybe I'm getting to do that one cover per session, but the majority of the songs I do here are mine. And the theme, I came up with a theme for this, John, this little broadcast, and it's travel or leaving or that kind of thing. So, confirmed Luddite, Central New Hampshire. What a beautiful place that is. I love New Hampshire. I used to go there a lot when I lived downstate in New York before I moved to the Adirondacks a million years ago. So, anyway, we're doing songs about traveling, and I picked this old Woody Guthrie song to do. This Land Is Your Land, and I never really cared for the song that much, but for some reason, I know it's recognized as one of the all-time great folk songs. Everybody in the world has covered it. Um, but I'm thinking in this time of absolute devastation economically for so many people, this song which was written in the time of the Great Depression, has it has a current relationship. It's timeless. Camp Half Moon. Damn, that's right. Anyway, let me see if I can get through this. I don't really know it. Oh yeah, another thing about this informality of this almost like busking thing is I screw up from time to time, but I don't care. John Prine is one of my favorite was one of my favorite writers and performers, and I've seen him several times. One time I saw him in Burlington, Vermont with a full band, and speaking of screwing up your songs, he went into Sam Stone, one of his all-time best-known songs, with a full band, and he screwed it up partway through the first or second verse, and then he screwed it up again. And because he had a band, he couldn't, when you're playing solo, you can fake your way through the screw-ups, but he couldn't because he had a whole band and he screw up through the band off. Make a long story short, he had to restart it 3 times, and the third time the audience was singing the lyrics back to him so that he'd get it straight. So if you know these lyrics, feel free to sing them back to me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of our diamond deserts. All around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, the wheat fields waving, the dust clouds rolling, voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, the wheat fields waving, the dust clouds rolling, a voice came chanting, the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. So, not to get oh my God, Pippi McDonald. How are you, lady? Welcome. Really nice to see you. Hey, let me tell you a couple of things because you're brand new at this. This is a live stream broadcast, and I record it as it's happening, so then I post it on my Facebook music page, which is facebook.com/Carl Rubino Music. So if you want to see it later or share it with your friends or go back and see some of the ones that you haven't seen for any reason, you can do that there. How are you? I know there's a delay here, so I guess I'll get that answer later. So anyway, I was going to say something about this song that I just did. Also, since you're new to this, most of what I do on this are my own songs. I tend to do 4 or 5 songs, and maybe I'll throw in one cover, and I just threw in that cover because it fit the theme of tonight, which is traveling songs, leaving songs, departure songs, things like that. And this old Woody Guthrie song from the Great Depression sort of fits that. It's a traveling song, but I think it's more. This concept of this land was made for you and me, I think about that in this pandemic time, that, we have states that are really getting hammered right now, and others like mine, New York, which is doing pretty well after doing pretty horribly. And I think maybe the message here is we got to all take care of each other. So that's it for that song. Something went wrong. I lost the feed. Sorry, stay well. Okay, John, catch it on Facebook. I'll post it after this part, after I get done with it, and you can see it then. Steve Turner, I don't know what bring them on camera means, so I'll just have to ignore that. But thanks for showing up, another new folk. So Steve, you're new. This is mostly my original songs, occasionally a cover. I'm doing a theme tonight, traveling songs, leaving songs, departing songs, and the like. I typically do my own songs that I've written. Once in a while I do a cover. I'm about to do... Hi, John, welcome back. I'm about to do another song I wrote, 2 days out. And Lynn, you've heard this story because you've been here, I think, every single one of them, but you other folks haven't. So 2 days out is interesting. It's a song about that I was inspired to write while traveling and passing a lot of truck drivers and being passed by some and wondering what their lives must be like. A lot of these men and women driving these big 18-wheelers are married, they have families and the like, and it's not all fun and games on the road. And what must it be like for them and their other significant person, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever they got, at home when they're gone for days, sometimes weeks at a time. So I wrote this song 2 days out. And many years ago, I was hawking my songs in Nashville. You can read that story, actually, about how I got into music and how I got into music and the trials and tribulations I've had on my website, which is right here, carlrubinomusic.com. There we go. And if you want to, that's a good place to see what I'm doing in music, see what I plan to do in the future. Facebook.com, Carl Rubino Music, will fill you in more on what's going on in the very near future and, quick song things I post. And like I said, this is like busking. If you want to throw a couple of bucks into the tip jar, paypal.me/Carl Rubino Music. And I think you got to use initial caps is the way to go. No pressure there. You're welcome to come for free every single time. I'd rather have you here than not. I'm not doing this for the money, as you can imagine, though making a buck or two would be nice. Anyway, so back to this song, 2 days out. So before I had an auto accident and couldn't play and stopped songwriting for a while, I was taking trips to play at songwriter nights in Nashville and in New York. I played at BMI songwriter nights where they invited songwriters to play in the round at places in New York City. Same in Nashville, and I also played at some really cool places in Nashville, songwriter nights at Douglas Corner and other places. Anyway, I played this song at one of the songwriter nights 2 days out, and after it, this guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey, my name's Billy Barr, blah, blah, blah. I'm making a new record. I'd love to do one of your songs." I said, "Oh, which one?" And he said, "Well, that one 2 days out." And I said, "Well, I hadn't recorded it or released it yet, but I don't know, I'll think about it. Let me listen to some of your stuff. So he gave me a couple of CDs to listen to, and this guy had a voice like Garth Brooks. I mean, just unbelievable. He was a songwriter himself, but he wanted to do one of mine as well. And he told me he was going to be recording this with Alan Jackson, most of Alan Jackson's road band, and at a studio in or just outside of Nashville. Good studio. So I figured, well, how can I lose? So I licensed it, and lo and behold, his recorded version of it wound up getting a fair amount of airplay, regular airplay on a country station in Australia, and I think I made $13.42 or something in royalties from that airplay. But anyway, so at some point I'm going to record it and release it as a single, but here it is. 2 days out. Two days out on a 4-lane road. Another day of broken lines till he can head for home. Her picture on the visor catches the fading light. 2 days out, he's missing her tonight. 2 days out and he's missing her tonight. His cold hard steering wheel is all that he'll hold tight. They share the emptiness of a cold and lonely night. 2 days out, he's missing her tonight. She puts on his favorite shirt, lies on his side of the bed, with her head on his pillow and a book that won't get read. She looks at his picture as she turns out the light. 2 days out, she's missing him tonight. 2 days out and she's missing him tonight. His empty pillow is all that she'll hold tight. They share the emptiness of a cold and lonely night. 2 days out, she's missing him tonight. He pulls into an all-night diner in East New Mexico. She wakes up once again, turns on the late-night show. He stares into his cup of coffee, she looks at the phone. 2 days out, it's another night alone. 2 days out and he's missing her tonight. Their undying love will get them through despite the miles that come between them on a cold and lonely night. 2 days out, she's missing him tonight. And it's hard hanging on when there's no one there to hold, but the miles that come between them won't stretch their bands of gold. 2 days out and he's missing her tonight. Their undying love will get them through despite the miles that come between them on a cold and lonely night. 2 days out, she's missing him tonight. 2 days out, he's missing her. She's missing him. He's missing her tonight. 2 days out. My version. If you want to hear the Billy Barr version, the guy that recorded that in Nashville and wound up having his recording of my song 2 days out, getting some significant airplay in Australia, I think you can find it on YouTube. Of course, he says he has the copyright on it, but he doesn't. What he means is he has the copyright on the video. I got the copyright on the song, but that's neither here nor there. Les Parker, hey, man. Nice to see you here. Welcome. I'm glad you could make it. You're coming in at the tail end, so let me tell you something. I record each of these live shows as I do them, and then I post them sometime after the live. Typically, I just hit a button that says post, and it does it automatically. And it winds up posted in full on my facebook.com/Carl Rubino Music Facebook page, so you could catch it there. My dad's firing range. Your family... Oh yeah. The range was in the... You're talking about my firing range down in the basement that I had when I was a kid? I'm afraid to hit see more because I think it's going to flip the video around. I'll check it out afterwards. I'm going to switch guitars here because I'm going to play something in what's called an open tuning. So, Les, you could check that out. You could also check out the prior ones I've done. This is probably about my 7th or 8th. I'm not sure. I've been doing them every week for a while now. Anyway, the theme I'm going with tonight is traveling or leaving songs, and this one's really interesting. This song is called Marianne. I wrote it some time ago. No, the firing range he made for us, he wasn't, well, he wasn't much for shooting, but we started shooting rifles when we were little kids, and I kind of never stopped. Anyway, this is a different kind of traveling. There's an interesting story here, part based in truth, about the person and me in the song, part based in fiction, and part based in the relationship I almost had with somebody else. I met her between Rotterdam and Amsterdam, riding on the overnight train. She looked at me and said her name was Marianne. At least I remember it that way. We talked all night as we rode the rails, past the tulips and the barges on the Seine. When we stepped off the train in Amsterdam, we were walking hand in hand. Her hair was dark and long, her eyes were green. She had the prettiest smile I'd ever seen. We strolled along the banks of the old canal. People passing by would sweetly smile. Pigeons parted in flight as we walked along, like a scene in celluloid on the silver screen. And though it all felt quite natural, something was not quite what it seemed. She said, I want you to come along with me. I had a feeling it had to do with destiny. I asked her what it was, and she just looked at me, and I knew she was a woman of mystery. I followed her up a single flight of old stone steps to a rooming house in the shadow of the Reich Museum. We took a basement room with a big brass bed. The window wore a veil of lace. We made love through the afternoon and on as darkness filled the room. Our limbs lay entwined in afterglow, bathed in the shadow of the moon. We slept as one till sunlight came and washed the room. I awoke to what was like a dream. Her eyes were a window to another world I'd never imagined, never seen. And while the smell of love still filled the room, a tear formed in the corner of her eye. She looked at me and said she must be on her way. She packed to leave. I asked her why. She said that there were things never left unsaid, things that were not easy to explain, but I should always hold her in my memory, and she would always do the same. Framed by the doorway, she said goodbye. A tear formed in the corner of my eye. As she turned and walked away, I got the strangest chill, though I know it was not from the cold. The curtains swirled and rustled on the windowsill, though the room held not the slightest breeze. It almost seemed as something else had left the room as Mary Ann took her leave. I sprinted up the stairs to the floor above, my heart pounding louder than my feet, as I reached for the knob on the old oak door. The landlady called out to me. She said, "I hope you like your stay in that big brass bed." I never could quite give it away. You see, that was the room of my daughter dear, Mary Ann, who's passed away. I ran out to the streets of Amsterdam, not knowing where to go or what to do. I walked along the banks of the old canal. Pigeons parted in flight as I walked through. Then in the distant mist I saw my Mary Ann. She looked back at me, I heard her say, "I will always hold you in my memory, and you should always do the same." Yeah, I met her between Rotterdam and Amsterdam, riding on the overnight train. She looked at me and said her name was Mary Ann. At least I remember it that way. As she looked at me and said her name was Mary Ann. At least I remember it that way. She looked at me and said her name was Mary Ann. At least I remember it that way. Yeah, kind of spooky, huh? The whole episode was kind of spooky. Anyway, well, Steve, interesting. A true story, yes and no. So here's the truth behind the story. When I was in college, I had a friend. Her name was Jane, and every once in a while you have an extremely strong draw towards somebody, but for some reason that relationship never comes to pass. So during college, we were buddies. We hung out. We'd done some things together. And she was going out with somebody. I was going out with somebody else. And it was one of those friendships where we kind of knew if we ever got together, the sparks would fly. So she spent her senior year at Oxford, and I had my senior year at BU in Boston. And we had a plan. She had broken up with her guy. I broke up with my lady. Not because of her or me. It just happened that way. And we had a plan that when she finished and I finished, I was going to go over to England that summer, get a motorcycle, a Triumph, and in London. And we were going to ride around Europe together. So I had my plane ticket and everything else, and 2 weeks or so before the date for me to fly over, the phone rings. Well, actually, I wasn't there. I came home, and my mother said, "Oh, somebody called on the phone. Do you have a friend named Jane?" I was kind of closed-mouthed. I never told my parents anything about my friends, really. I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "She was killed in England." So, anyway, that trip never happened. But I went, and so I kind of just made up this story about, how I met somebody, and they were actually a ghost. Interestingly, sometime about a week or so, or a couple of days or so after she died. I was asleep at my house, and there was no breeze, and the curtains rustled, and I felt a power, a force, a spirit. So that's where that song came from. It's got some basis in truth, and it's mostly just a song. But, you know, that's where songs come from. Sometimes. A little bit of truth, 2% truth, 98% imagination and bullshit. But anyway, I love the song. It's got a special place in my heart. So anyway, some of you, most of you probably don't really know my music that well, or what my plans are in it, particularly as altered by coronavirus. So if you're interested in finding out any of that, there's my website address. That's a great place to go. Simply carlrubinomusic.com, because it not only does it tell you, my bio, if you will, in music and what I've done, but it also has links to my Spotify account. And the spirit moves us. Yeah, it sure as hell does. Anyway, it has links to my Spotify account, so you can listen to the songs on the CD that I brought out many years ago. There are 10 of them. I didn't play any of them tonight, but I've played some of them in this live stream. You can also, if you wanted to download any of them, there are links to places you could download them. There are a couple of locations, but there are links to them on that site. Also, I talk about what I want to do in house concerts when we can roam the country again, which is performances at people's houses. So the concept being somebody likes your music, so they invite you to perform at their house or in their backyard or their camp or whatever it may be. Jamie Shaughnessy, damn. Hi, lady. How are you? Been a long time. Jamie, I'm just about to check out here from this 6 to 6:30 plus thing. But, Jamie, you can catch this. I record it during the live stream, and I post it at facebook.com/Carl Rubino Music. So you can see tonight's, and you can see prior to night's. And it's really nice to see you again, my friend. So anyway, as I was saying, house concerts, somebody brings you to their house. They typically don't pay you, but they invite friends, and they encourage their friends to toss some money at you, so it becomes financially worthwhile. So I want to do that at some point in the future. So if anybody's interested in seeing what that's like, there's a page on the website that describes house concerts. And like I say, you don't pay to have me there. You just host me, and you hook your friends to throw the money into the pot. What else? Also, I have a newsletter. I'm working on sending out the first one. At the bottom of my home page on my website, which is here for anybody who missed it, you can subscribe or sign up to that newsletter, and you'll find out about new songs I'm doing. I'm going to be releasing a single at some point. Oh, cool. Pippi, what part of are you in Florida? I would love to perform at your house. What state are you in? Well, you can email me and tell me that. So, Pippi, go to the website, look at what house concerts are like and about. If you have any questions, my email address is here, and it's also on the website. And what I would need to do is link up a few. So I'd go from one location, then drive, go to another location, that kind of thing. So that'd be great. Vero Beach, Florida. Yeah, I'm not exactly going to Florida right now, but the time will come. I like Florida. Anyway, that's the house concert deal. And for now, I'm doing live streams, and I'm working towards putting together a from a distance concert. So instead of this very informal live stream, it would be more like a formal concert that I would do. And in the newsletter, you'll find out about how that's coming along, when it's coming. I'm also going to record some singles and release those for single downloads, so you could find out about that by subscribing to the newsletter. or checking out the website. And as I said, if anybody wants to toss a couple of bucks into the tip jar for this busking type event, how come I can't line this thing up? There it is. PayPal.me/Carl Rubino Music. But feel no pressure. I'm just throwing it out there like you open your guitar case. If you're busking, if somebody throws something in, they do. If they don't, that's fine. More importantly, I'd love to have you all here. And if you like this, please find a way to share it to your friends. Let them know. The more the merrier. So unless anybody's got any questions or anything, let me scroll down and see if I missed anything. Usually when I try this, I screw it up and I wind up flipping the camera around. Well, it's not scrolling, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Oh, there we go. Let me see. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, good. I got about 8 or 10 people tonight, I guess. That's nice. Lynn, please give Susie my love. Give her a big hug for me. Well, I guess you're too far away to hug her, but... and tell her to check out the Facebook page, and tell her that I said next time get her sweet ass here for my thing so I can say hi to her and give her a kiss over the internet. So for you folks that don't know what I'm talking about, Susie and I were buddies in high school, part of a small gang of guys and girls that hung out together most every day. So I can say something like that to her, and she's not going to be the least bit offended. And if she is, she can simply tell me so. So anyway, thank you all for coming. Please stay safe. If you got any questions about my music, email me. It is so heartfelt to see you folks that I've known from so long ago showing up for this. I mean, I can't tell you how much this means. And Jamie, really nice. I don't think we've spoken in a couple of years. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope all's well. Catch you guys next week. Bye.